Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day or wonderful evening. Happy Sunday. We've been covering the case of Sebastian Rogers. It's nice to see you, Southern Belle, Kayla, Pam. Good afternoon. Well, good evening. Good evening. It's not time. I'm losing track of my days over here. Wicked, Allie, Sky's the limit. Ooh, I like that name. Sammy, it's nice to see you. Diana, Danielle, good evening. Donald, it's nice to see you. Alameda, is it Alameda? Hopefully I said that right. Jen, hey guys, it's nice to see you. Listen, I'm not going to take too long or too much of your time because I know that it is Sunday and you're probably winding down from a busy week. But I did want to plug away with you guys because there has still been some developments. It's nice to see you, Warrior Native. Hello. Oh, me and you. It's nice to see you, Lovebug. Me and you guys, some of you guys probably already know some of this information because we discussed it on the live this morning or this afternoon. Hey, Jeanette, Amy, it's nice to see you. Cathy, welcome. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime here on this platform as well as multiple other platforms. But we have some developing information here that has been breaking over the last few days, and it's related to the lights video that we have. So the lights video, there has been multiple analysis of this where they have really kind of went in on the images and started cleaning those up, and we're starting to see some of those taking place. So it really did start out with this. This was the image near the vehicle. So there was 3 leaked videos right around March 14th area in the Sebastian Rogers case. And all you got to see is a little smidgen of light. Well, the folks that know about enhancement and editing here on these platforms started cleaning up that image, and we're starting to it's starting to form here. And as you can see, there is a face, and we've learned that this is more in line with what we're seeing here. This is actually showing Katie almost in the same outfit she was observed in just hours prior to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers, or him being reported missing. And so there's been a lot of questions related to the shadowing over here, what all that is, and what we're really seeing as they're still cleaning up the image. And I wanted to show you guys this. I've been having some discussions with Hindsight. We got a lot of bombshell information if you guys want to stay around. So Hindsight actually developed a different area, and the reason why this is not as clear as that first one is because this is a moving one, and I was trying to take a picture, a screenshot of a video, so it kind of looks all really pixelated. But Hindsight was able to get me something different because we were talking about the position of what we're seeing in the photo. And I sent this over to her to see if this was kind of what she was seeing in the image. And she actually plotted out what she saw in the image for her. And this is kind of what you're seeing here, is that it looks like it's kind of an over-the-shoulder maneuver that we might be seeing in this photo. Oops, let me get you a cleaner photo. In this photo here. So again, developing information, we are starting to get a lot of clearer images, and people are taking different spots of that lights video and enhancing it, and it is showing people behind the lights. The idea that this was a trash truck has now gone away. This right here was taken at 3-something in the morning, and it does without a doubt look like this angle here at the Texas Roadhouse. Now, one of the other developing information that we were learning is that we have now confirmed that there were lights on the home at 3:06 in the morning, lights on in the home. As you see, the timeline's right down here, right here over my shoulder, 3:06 a.m., February 26, 2024. And this is coming from a property behind the Proudfoot home. And as you can see, there is a light right here on the Proudfoot home, very much visible. And it's this window right here that had the lights on in that particular shot from the neighbor behind them. It's this window right here is being observed on the cameras from this home here to their home. And again, that back window was the light source. So this is really starting to hinder the alibi as we know it for the mom and stepfather with these two key pieces of information that we were unaware of before. This information here is from y'all's truly, Cajun. Cajun is on this app, and just a big shout out to her and the team that she's working with on this app that located this key piece of information where there is clearly a light visible on at the Proudfoot home at 3:06 in the morning on February 26, 2024. So again, alibi is completely off the table. Everything that we know of that was told to us from the time they came home, you know, the thud or thump or whatever was said at 10 p.m., them being on the phone, her going to bed at midnight. We have a light on in their house at 3:06 in the morning coming from one of their rooms. And we have images only 2.5 hours to 3 hours from the time a child was reported missing from a home that has lights being observed coming out of the home. This is very, very, this is breaking. And I hope you guys get this stuff. Now, if you're wanting to know where these images came from, I just did a live around, I don't know what time it was. Hey, Mr. Fox, thanks so much for the roses. Thank you so much. Do you think this will be enough for criminal charges? I think it's working that way. I think it's working that way because not only is this starting to be very clear, whenever you reduce the size of this image. Hey, Chasin' Crimes. It's nice to see you, love bug. Hugs and kisses. When you start reducing this image down smaller, you can almost see the face in this one right here. You can just about the body structure, the facial hair. It's a little crazy. And I know people were saying, well, where did this image come from? And you know, how can I replicate it? So I went ahead, some of you guys, like I said, this is not in my wheelhouse. I don't do this level of image enhancement. I've tried doing it. I can do some stuff to a certain extent with the stuff I work with, the software I work with, but nothing to this grade of cleaning up or quality. And so the only thing I could do for the audience is just show them where they can start working on it if they wish to replicate this or to see if this is true. This came from the lights video. There were 3 leaked lights video, all from the same neighbor. One was well known because it was leaked to a local news guy. The other 3 that were from that night are the ones that are the other 2 rather from that night show the unknown vehicle. And there's little movement. I go over the little movement on the back side of what we see the car and the silhouette of the car. You can absolutely, when you blow up in there, you can see the movement at the end of that car. Well, that movement at the end of that unknown vehicle, that's where this image is coming from. This right here appears to be, I mean, you can almost see it. You can almost see it. This right here, this ponytail, I believe, is hanging over her shoulder right here. This being her ponytail, this being her ear and side, like this right here, right there, being that location right there. And you can see this right here is the same hoodie she's wearing right here in these images. And so now we just need to figure out what we're seeing in this area here, because we know that this would be most likely Chris. When you reduce this image, the facial features are that of the stepfather. So we've got at 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody that appears to be Cathy peering in a vehicle, an unknown vehicle that flashlights walk to. And it appears somebody of Chris's body weight and stature is carrying something really long right here. And when I work and discuss this with other people, this is what they believe we're seeing. Over the shoulder kind of carrying. And this kind of carrying. And this would be the shadow that we were seeing. Something to that effect. In addition to having critical information that there was an interior light on inside the Proudfoot home at 3:06 in the morning. This, and if we have this, oh, I can't read that. I didn't scrunch that down enough, but it was just basically, this person can see the hood on Sebastian's head and how he's all dressed in all black is what hindsight was explaining to me related to this image right here. I didn't get a chance to get it smaller, so it's kind of like a blob behind me, but it's basically this right here, and this here, and this here is what she identified in purple. And this being what she believes would be Sebastian being carried out, in addition to a mom saying that she's in bed sleeping at midnight. And we can clearly see from a neighbor's Ring door camera that lives behind them. Again, just to show you guys perspective of what we're looking at. We're looking at a camera behind them. Okay? And they're picking up lights being turned on in the back part of the house right over on this side right here. So there's lights on in this area on the house at 3:06 in the morning, and it's being picked up by the camera right here at this home. So again, if you guys want more breakdown of all of this, I did it today. It's the only live that I ran this, well, I keep saying this morning, but it wasn't. It was this afternoon because it was after church. I think we started around 12:30 or 1 o'clock this afternoon. And it's about a 2-hour live. You can kind of scroll through it. That's what I love about YouTube. You can kind of scroll through it until you start seeing images like this, and you can hone in and listen. But we kind of cover everything. We go over the videos. We go over some people's commentary in the chat. But I just want to remind everybody, and I didn't even get this one right, is that I truly do not believe Sebastian walked out of his home. I've never believed Sebastian walked out of his home, but I truly believe that there is something here. And again, these are images being enhanced from a speck of dot, a speck this big on a video. It's amazing what you guys can do. It's amazing how creative people can be. Sorry, it wasn't showing me all your comments. I'm sorry, it says 76 new comments. Hi, everybody that's coming in. I hope you guys are learning something. Wasn't CP in the military at one point? Yes, he was. And that is exactly why I started looking at military maneuvers, not just military, but also another, what people forget is firemen. You know, there's a lot of firemen techniques that firemen have to use to take incapacitated people out of burning buildings. And of course, the Army has to, and other military has to learn how to take incapacitated people out of harm's way if they're under fire or things of that nature. So we've got different ways, and I absolutely believe that there is something here. I mean, we clearly see something on the camera. And what I like about Hindsight 2002 is if you go to hers, she has a short where you can see the person walking, and it's blown up and much clearer than this. I mean, it looks similar to this. It hasn't honed in on too much detail like this particular one does. This one really does have a lot of detail, especially in the face and here. But this, guys, it's the same blessed clothes that she was wearing the last time that we have proof of life of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And we She was falling asleep on the couch around 10. Her husband wakes her up, slightly, slightly wakes her up, or whatever their story is this week, around midnight to tell her to go to bed. So she put the dogs away and she went to bed. And she was asleep by midnight, at midnight, right? Well, then why do we have a light on that would on the side of the house with her bedroom that would most likely keep her awake, or at least be shining in her room somehow? Why was that turned on at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I still can't get over the elbow bump on Chris. What about all the marks up and down his arm? And the audio. I found out by watching Crime Time Buzz on YouTube that she had some audio that law enforcement reached out to and had her give them. And you can hear, it's very hard to hear, very, very hard to hear. But you can hear, it's very faint and whisper. You have to put, and it's almost overpowering for the eardrums, because you got to put headphones on, and you've got to crank that baby up very high, and there's some static that's really loud, so it almost knocks you off. But what you're listening to is the underlying thing, and I can't remember exactly what was said, but you can hear CP's voice. He's got a very distinct voice, and you can hear him say something like he's gone. And I think I heard something about a front door. Go back to the house, and something front door, and he's gone. Now, I know other people heard a lot more than that, but I have hearing, and I'm hearing and impaired in part because I'm deaf in my right ear. I only have one working ear. And so when there's a lot of other static and noise, I don't have the fine tune for all of that. So I can make out a few things, but I can't make out what everybody else is. And that is on Crime Time Buzz. And I believe she played that audio again yesterday on one of her lives that she did, if I'm not mistaken. So if you want to catch that, that's on Crime Time Buzz, guys. I wish I could play all this stuff over here on TikTok, but you have to understand the situation and how difficult it is here on TikTok, because things are getting censored over here like crazy. And it's a lot easier for me to drop a lot of information that you need if you're interested in this case without having any issues over on YouTube. So if you guys want more content over here and more breaking information on these true crime cases, then you're going to want to check your hate channels on here, okay? Because they make it very difficult for people to bring you legitimate information while they're filling your heads with a bunch of BS, quite frankly, right? So this is very important information, and if we have this, then I think all the haters report it. They do. I don't do anything on their channels. I really don't. I've never been there. I don't watch. I don't go through these things. But, if that's what makes them feel good, I feel sorry for them. I mean, to be honest with you. Chasing Crimes, I left you a message on TikTok. Just had a question for you. Brienne has a message for you there, Chasing Crimes. I like Chasing Crimes. I like it. Where did the audio come from? It came from one of the neighbor's cameras that had audio on it. I didn't believe it at first either, to be honest with you, because I just don't trust. I don't trust it. If I can't source it, I don't trust it. And in these photos here, I can source. I just can't replicate them, but I've got people working on them, right? And I trust hindsight 2002, period. I don't care what you guys say over here. I've seen her for years. She's got no dog in the fight. She's pulling these images. I can see a person walking in her images. I know exactly where this particular image derived from. So I absolutely, without a hands down, know exactly where these things came from and absolutely stand behind them. But as far as the audio, I know that the FBI reached out for the audio. So, and Crime Time Buzz did turn the audio over to law enforcement, so they'll handle that. But for me, I don't know where the audio came from. I know, or heard, I don't know. I heard it was from one of the neighbors. So Yeah. Funny that SF gave out pics without noticing. I know. Because he's not an observant person. He's an unscrupulous PI that has been hired to be a lynchman for the Proudfoots, period. He has been hired to cause misinformation and disinformation. The problem is he's not even that good or that slick with that. So he's been called out the minute he started flipping the script. And now he looks like a pile of poop, and everybody knows he's just a hired PR guy, trying to distract from the truth. And his client is definitely not Sebastian Rogers Rogers, because no matter how much truth you bring to him, he just doesn't want to accept it. He refuses to accept it. That tells me one thing: he is not open to information about this child, only the narrative that he is running. Period. Only the narrative that he is running. I am absolutely convinced of that. I know that the people that are working on enhancing these videos have no dog in the fight other than they want the truth, and they want truth and transparency. I know Chasing Crimes, she's worked a lot of hard hours on this case. Cajun, Ocean, a lot of the people over here that you guys don't realize literally how many hours they have spent doing so much research behind the scene and turning stuff over without sitting up here for an attaboy or attagirl, It's just amazing to me that people don't see that type of work, and you've got one person on here just making the most noise, and everybody's tuned in, forgetting this is really about a child, not somebody's peeing contest. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of people, a lot of strangers that came together for the sake of this boy, doing everything we can to find the truth, because we felt like we were being deceived by law enforcement. We felt like we were being lied to by the mom and stepdad. And guess what? That stuff holds water. We were being deceived by them. The beautiful people, law enforcement tried to make us believe, force feed us that this was a trash truck, and the true crime community was just not having it. So they went to work and enhanced some photos to prove that they weren't liars, right? That's really what it was about. You can't sit there and call somebody a liar and telling that they're engaging in misinformation. What you'll have is them proving law enforcement wrong. We knew darn well those were flashlights. We knew that there was going to be people behind those lights that were moving in the common area, and law enforcement was telling us, no, you don't know what you're talking about. It's taken out of context. I want to know, what part's taken out of context here? I'm just asking. What part of this is taken out of context? It looks like two people that said that they were not supposed to be up or even around each other, and it sure looks like they're all around each other at a time when everybody was supposed to be asleep. So I don't know what law enforcement or the rest of the people out there in TikTok land or YouTube world or social media universe, but it sounds like an alibi just went, okay? Their alibis. I don't know how else to say that. And no matter how much people want to mock me and attack me and everything else, it doesn't fix this. Just saying. Just saying. Yes. What do you think this blob right here is? This is Katie. You got a man that looks like Chris behind her and a child. I mean, there's 3 people in the family, and there's sure 3 people here. So, yeah. And this right here, when you get it smaller, you can see the facial hair, the eyes, the nose. You see it. You see it a lot clearer. You know exactly who you're looking at when you shrink that photo. If you guys want to take a gander at this and you want this specific photo, over on my YouTube channel, in my community tab, I have attached this photo for you guys to analyze and look at. And this is the movement that was on the back. When you guys get to the scene where the lights on the car turn on, if you look right in the back of the tail, you'll see a bunch of movement, little lights just going on. That's where this image was taken from. Okay? That was blown up and that was enhanced. So if you guys would like to take a gander at that and get the same images, that's where that is at. It's at that moment. It's in that clip, when the lights turn on of the car, that unknown car, you will start seeing that movement. It's just little flutters of lights. Just little flutters of lights right there on the tail end. And look what's behind those lights. I don't know about you. It sure looks like what she was wearing earlier that day. It surely looks like what she was wearing earlier that day. So this right here, even though it says Sebastian, this is Cathy. See it? Right here. In the same exact clothes she was seen at 6:30 at night at the Texas Roadhouse. And I believe that this shadowing right here is explained by this picture right here. That's the way hindsight's, and this is just an opinion right here, okay? This is not fact. This is based on what she saw in her section of the video. She believes this to be the silhouette of somebody being carried out. We can deduct somebody that looks like Cathy outside by this car, somebody that looks like Chris outside by the car. We can only imagine what this image of what he could be carrying could be. I mean, there's only so many options here. So, and they were up. And they were up. 3:06, almost 3:07 in the morning, February 26. We finally have proof. They were up. They were up. This is just becoming, this is becoming worse and worse and worse for Camp Proudfoot. So we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there with legitimate information. We're getting there. We just removed their alibi. They have no alibi. They were seen on camera during their alibi of I was in bed sleeping. They were awake. And they were definitely up. This right here, Cajun dropped this. This is actually an image that the unscrupulous PI dropped. And he's too stupid to even notice his own client's lights are on in their house. What can I say? He's an idiot. So they got it from him. They're the Proudfoot's own PI. You can't make this stuff up. I'm just saying, you can't make this stuff up. Wondering when it was going to come out. Exactly, Pamela. Exactly. No doubt. I mean, it's funny, but not funny. Exactly. What was that? Mysterious owl? I know. It's funny, but it's not funny. And, you know, because this is a boy, but we're fighting against a corrupt mom and father, stepfather, and teammates. Like every one of their teammates is willing to commit a crime, has committed a crime, is doing, what out in the woods searching for somebody. They have they're just disgusting people. I don't know what to tell you, folks. They're disgusting. They're disgusting inside and out. So, does anyone know how Seth is doing with this information? He's not doing good. He's trying to say it stands strong, I can tell you that. No matter how we think about how you would feel if you're piecing all this shit together, excuse my language. He's not doing well. No matter how much of a brave face he's putting on for the rest of you guys on the Nancy Grace and everything else. He can show a brave face when he needs to, but he's a father that loves his son, had nothing to do with his son, was crucified by social media when they had all the information that proved he had nothing to do with his son for the protection of these horrible people. And all he wants to do is bring his son home, and then all this information is starting to flood out. How would you feel? He's not doing well. He's trying to keep his hope. He's trying not to let this stuff steal his hope. All he cares about is his son. He doesn't care about his house. He doesn't care about his car. He doesn't care about YouTube. He doesn't care about any of this nonsense. All he gives a crap about is holding his son, going fishing with his son, cooking dinner for his son, joking with his son, being able to take his son out to his favorite Mexican restaurant. That is what Seth is longing for right now. But I think deep in his heart, he knows what the possibilities are, you know? He knows the odds are stacked against him. He's not a stupid man. But what he has right now is hope. And, you know, I don't want that extinguished for him because he needs hope. You never want to be in a place of hopelessness and despair. So I hope everybody, if you see Seth or see him talking or see something, be kind. Be kind, because I don't care what anybody has told you. He is an innocent father desperately searching for his missing son that disappeared on his ex-wife's watch. Everything bad that's ever happened to this child has happened on Katie's watch. Everything. So recap, sure. I'm happy to recap, Cheryl. So over the last few days, there has been a lot of breaking news. This right here was caught by Cajun. You guys all should know Cajun on this app. She's well known here. This is, from my understanding, a photo that the unscrupulous PI dropped, but this is not the kicker. Some of the folks have been working on the lights. These are the little tiny lights moving around in the black nothing, right? And then there's this anonymous car, and you see a little bit of movement on the back of that anonymous car, and people have developed this image. And this is what we believe to be Katie, because this is the exact outfit she was wearing the night that she was out with Sebastian. You can kind of see her ear right here. I believe her ponytail's going over her shoulder versus in the back, so I think it's going down this way, giving you that like little sharp thing around her head. So you've got this. Let me see if I can get a picture. I think this one doesn't have the lines on it. Here, let me move those big old, there you go. You can see it a little better. So you can see, so it's like this part of her head. You see that? It's like that part of her head right there. There's her ear right there. Her hair in a ponytail, just like she has it here. She's wearing the black hoodie, which is observed here. And then you see what appears to be the stature and body build of Christopher Proudfoot, her husband, right here. And you see the shadowing right here. And we're all trying to figure out what this is and this is. And it appears to be, it might be Sebastian kind of over the shoulders, not quite like this. But according to hindsight 2002, she believes it's more like this, where this is the legs of Sebastian, and it appears to be where his head would be more positioned right here. So then in addition to that, this is what Cajun found at 3:06 in the morning. This is the backside of the property right here. This is the neighbor right here, and it's peering in this way. And then back here in the backyard on their window or one of the rooms, there is observed a light right here. And this light is this portion of their home right here. Okay? So now we can prove that somebody was awake in that house at 3:06 in the morning, in addition to people being outside the home that appear to have the same body structure. Oops, wrong one. The same body structure as Katie and Chris. And here's the supporting information on that. Now, I don't believe this is Sebastian down here. I think Katie and Sebastian's names need to be changed here, because this clearly does look like Katie and what she was wearing earlier that day, right here. So very interesting stuff, Cheryl. I hope that helps clarify some things to you. This came from, there was 3 lights videos that were released by the neighbors. Nick Barris released one, and from the same neighbor there was 2 more released, one showing the vehicle on the outside of the home at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so this particular image is enhanced from when the lights of the car turn on. When you see that turn on, if you look right down at the bumper, you'll see a little bit of fluttering lights there. Those fluttering lights were enhanced, and this is what was enhanced out of those fluttering lights right here. So, and then of course there's hindsight 2002, which you can literally see the movement. This is hers. I know that I took a horrible picture of it right here, but you can see somebody walking in hers. Like Grace's Gavel and Lady Freedom Raw Narrative took the video and got a still image and enhanced the still image. Hindsight enhanced the actual video. So you can like see somebody walking with something. You know, it's a blob. I mean, it needs to be further enhanced, but you can really see it. Like hindsight 2002 has some pretty cool stuff where she's enhanced it, and you can literally see somebody walking with something. It's not defined, but you know darn well what you are seeing is a human walking with something. Period. So there's been a lot of enhancements on these videos, and I expect more to come out as people and more people with a little bit higher grade software or technique might be able to enhance these images a lot more. But the one thing we have now concluded is that it appears Cathy did not go to sleep at midnight. She was observed outside of the home around 3 o'clock in the morning near a car. And somebody with the same body, height, weight, and build as her husband was also observed standing near her at that same unknown vehicle at 3-something in the morning. So this is, you know, alibi, bye-bye time. This is alibi, bye-bye time. I think so too, Mysterious Owl. Great work, everyone. It was a lot of people coming together for the benefit of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Let's not forget, because just because he was taken out of the home, he could still be anywhere. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, he is 16 years old now. His birthday was December 7th. He went missing on February 25th. That has officially been changed on his Amber Alert. I stayed true to myself, I stayed true to my audience, and I told you guys he disappeared or was last seen on the 25th. Bombshell information in one of the interviews, it was the Web Sleuth's interview, when Seth challenged Chris on that interview and stated that he believes that Chris's mom and stepfather had Sebastian. Chris lost his cool and started screaming at him, saying, "You know exactly where my mom and dad were on Sunday. You knew exactly where they were Sunday evening." He was adamant at that moment, whether he realized that's what he just said or not, that something happened to Sebastian Sunday night, not Monday morning. And you can go back and listen to it. It's at the very end, probably the last 20 minutes of the Web Sleuth's interview. And I think that interview was like 2.5 hours, but the total show was 3 hours. You only have to listen to the last half an hour of that show, and you will hear him say that out of his own mouth. You know where my mom was Sunday. You know where my mom was Sunday evening. She was never around Sebastian. She was never around Cathy. Well, for the last year, we were told that he disappeared between midnight and 6 a.m. Why would he be screaming at Seth? He knows where his mom was Sunday night. So there you go, guys. I'm sorry it took me so long to get over here. I hope you guys do follow me on YouTube for the breaking news and updated information on the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case and other crime news cases. Don't forget, I dropped a video here about the crash in Philly, PA. I hope you guys support that work. They put a disclaimer on it because it's too shocking for you folks over here because there were screams. Like, I put together videos all the time where I have to literally go and search for sound effects to get screams in it for that shocking, and those things don't happen, but blurring an image and shaking it and putting screams behind it apparently was too shocking for the people of TikTok. So if you want your up-to-date breaking news, you might need to follow me on YouTube. Otherwise, you're never going to get it because it's censored over here on TikTok. I'm just saying. Just saying. I am. Oh, that reminds me, guys. Chasing. Do you guys realize that you guys almost lost your friend chasing? She was out picking up pizza. She was out picking up pizza near where that whatever. I don't know if it was a plane. They're saying it's a plane, but I've never seen a plane go straight down to earth in that kind of force or that kind of speed before in my life. So I really don't know. But you guys almost lost Chasen. If Chasen had been there, God knows, she might have been hurt pretty bad. She got home. I think she said 15 minutes. God was definitely looking out for me. Yeah. 15 minutes? It could have been her? That's insane. That's insane. Chasing Crime, she's in the chat right now. She's one of the true crime content creators here on TikTok. And YouTube. 16 minutes, she says. 16 minutes. All right, guys, take that information for what you will. If you guys want to know specifically where these images were derived from, my live from earlier today on YouTube, that's where you're going to get all your information and everything that you need. I'm happy. Listen, I'm an open book. I say fact find the crap out of people. Don't take anybody's word for anything on these streets anymore. I don't trust anybody. Why should you, right? So no matter who it is, whether it's somebody like me or not, and you love me and you just believe everything, I have no problem with people fact finding me. Okay? No problem whatsoever. If I'm wrong, I own it, because at the end of the day, this is for the victim. Anything we can do to help and make sure that it's factual, that's what we do. Do we speculate? Of course we speculate, but we let people know we're speculating. We let people know that that's our theory. That's how we roll on here. We don't take our theory and push it off to you guys as fact. So I expect you guys to fact find me. You never know what you'll find. You might find the thing, right? Somebody might have missed it, but because you're fact finding, you're like, they missed this. Oh my gosh, right? So I believe, just as a standard baseline, fact find everybody. You'll never be duped again. All right, guys, God bless you. Have an amazing Sunday evening. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, let's be kind to one another. You never know what kind of day somebody has. Show a little grace, guys. That's all I'm asking. Show a little grace until you don't show grace, right? People can be really, really nasty, but it doesn't mean that you have to be sucked into that nastiness yourself. It's something we all could work on and do better at. Just stay focused on Sebastian. We're having some major movement. If you hear anything, please reach out to law enforcement immediately. If you know where he is, or it's hard for you to speak, there's so many ways you can tell your story anonymously. Please reach out today. God bless you.